Their coach, Charlie, shows up to break the bad news. The team's management isn't going to cover their bail. Now, the guys are seriously worried about what's going to happen next. They're worried about missing the last game of the season, but Charlie, their coach, quickly explains that the higher-ups simply don't care about them anymore. The team's plan is to bring in younger players and completely revamp the roster. Charlie points out that Monty actually got to play for 15 years, which is way more than the average player, so he should really be grateful. A few hours later, the duo is taken to the courtroom. They're hit with a bunch of charges, including assault and destruction of property. The guys swear they're innocent and even start arguing with the judge who, understandably, gets pretty annoyed and sets their bail at a hefty $3,000 each. Since they don't have that kind of cash, they're about to be sent right back to their cell. But just as they're about to be escorted away, Donaldo interrupts. He explains that he represents an anonymous party who's willing to pay for their bail and all their fines as long as Monty and Spike plead guilty. Still convinced that Donaldo is a big league scout, Monty happily accepts the deal. Afterward, Donaldo takes the guys to New York City. Spike completely freaks out when they walk into a huge corporate building, convinced that Donaldo is actually an undercover cop trying to trick them with this whole scout story. Donaldo, however, calmly points out that he never once claimed to be a scout. He then explains that he was actually hired by a law firm. The group enters a super fancy office and Monty is taken to meet the lawyers in private. They reveal that they represent Monty's great-uncle Robert, who had a massive argument with the family back in the 1930s. He vanished after that fight, and no one ever heard from him again. As it turns out, Robert became one of the richest men in the country, and since he passed away last month, Monty is now his sole living heir. But of course, there's a catch. The will comes with some pretty wild conditions. The lawyers play a video message that Rupert left behind for his heir. Monty is stunned when he sees that his uncle is actually white, but Rupert saw this coming and explains it all. His father had 2 wives, one white and one black. Rupert doesn't hold back. He says he's disappointed in Monty for being such a failure, and then shares a story about how his own dad used to punish him as a kid. That's why Rupert wants to punish Monty in the same way, by making him absolutely hate spending money. Here's the deal. If Monty wants to inherit his uncle's massive fortune, he has to complete a challenge.